I'm currently working 70 hours per week and I still manage to look like this. So in this video, I'm going to hold nothing back and give you every tactic I use to get ripped and lose fat while working 70 hours per week. Now, first and foremost, if you're going to be a busy person and still have fitness goals, then your diet needs to be on point. But you already knew that, didn't you? But here's what you don't know, or rather what you haven't been told. The truth that nobody tells you is that your diet to lose fat as a busy guy can still be very flexible. Most people, especially busy guys, when they think of a fat loss diet, they envision salad and chicken breast 3 times a day. I'm here to tell you that as someone who stays lean year round, I still eat McDonald's every now and again. I still go out and have ice cream with my friends. Just because I'm trying to lose fat and be fit doesn't mean that I'm living like a robot. But that doesn't mean that I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm just naturally lean. I actually have a strategy that I use that allows me to eat my favorite foods every now and again and still stay lean. And the first thing you've actually got to do is find out how much you're eating. When I ask most people how much they're eating, they always give me like a random estimate. So when I work with guys who are trying to gain weight, they always say, yeah, bro, I'm eating 6,000 calories. And whenever I work with guys who are trying to lose weight, they say, oh, I'm eating like 1,500 calories. The truth is that the guys who are trying to gain weight are way overestimating how much they're eating, and the guys who are trying to lose weight are way underestimating how much they're eating. So pretty much step 0 of having a good diet for fat loss is downloading the app MyFitnessPal, or if you have a better food tracking app, go ahead and download it. It doesn't really matter what app you download, but when you actually download an app that tracks your food, you're gonna realize how clueless you've been about your diet the entire time. I personally thought I was on a 2,000 calorie diet when I looked like this. But the truth is that I was way closer to 3,500 calories. Now, one very important skill that you might want to consider adapting into your life if your goal is to stay fit while being busy is to meal prep. Ideally, what you want to do is on the weekends, you want to prepare a couple of meals for your work days. So whenever you're at work and you're hungry, you're reaching for nutrition rather than a bunch of random unhealthy snacks. But to be completely realistic, the chances of you never eating out again as a busy guy are very, very low. And that's exactly why inside of my minimalist fitness community, I include a guide on how to eat healthy when you're eating out. Now, once you start tracking your food, you need to figure out how many daily calories you need to be on. Now, I'll just give you a blanket answer for this, but for most people, these calories will work. You don't want to be any higher than 2,500 calories unless you're working a job that's physically active. Now, this is very important. The foods that you eat with this 2,500 calorie budget should be nutritious and should serve as fuel. Because the absolute worst thing that you can do if you want to lose fat is to look at food as punishment. Food isn't punishment, it's fuel. And literally anyone who tells you otherwise is an absolute idiot. The good news is that you can switch up the kind of fuel you're having every now and again and still lose fat. Now you might be wondering, what exactly does this fuel get used for? And the answer to that is this: movement. One of the biggest things that I hear people say in the fitness industry about dieting and losing fat and, the relation between the two is, quote, you can't out-train a bad diet. To which I say, yes, you can't out-train a bad diet, but you can out-move it. To clear up any confusion, first of all, you shouldn't have a bad diet to start off with. But if your diet isn't the best, then movement can and absolutely will compensate for it. If I can attribute my leanness to one specific habit, it would be the habit of walking every day. Whether it be in the comfort of my own house, in my garage, or even around my neighborhood, walking has constantly enabled me to fuck up with my diet and still stay lean regardless. By the way, I find it stupid as fuck when people say, oh, you can't just move more to compensate for a bad diet. That's like saying making more money isn't going to compensate for having high expenses. So if for some reason 2,500 calories is not enough for you and you're eating 3,000, well then when you move more, you lose fat anyways. Also keep in mind that when you are a guy working 70 hours per week, then stuff like running or swimming, all of that just becomes way too hard to fit into a schedule. But you know what doesn't get hard? Yeah, walking. Now eating and walking are relatively simple. The hard part with working 70 hours a week is to fit lifting into your schedule. I will say that as of late, it has been very difficult for me to lift, but guess what? I still haven't missed any sessions. But what I've had to do is make little adaptations with my workout so that I can get more done in less time. First and most crucial adaptation you've got to make with your workouts by far is to quit scrolling and texting. If you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and you're on your phone in the gym, unless you're like, talking to the president about negotiating world peace or some shit, you shouldn't be on your phone. When you follow my style of workouts as a busy guy, you're not going to be in the gym for more than 60 to at most 90 minutes at a time. And if you're telling me that you can't just disconnect from the world for 60 to 90 minutes 3 times a week, then you're absolutely a fucking liar. And I don't believe you. When you disconnect from the outside world for a very short period of time, your focus goes up exponentially. You feel better during your workouts, you get higher quality workouts in, and all of that just leads to you seeing better progress. Second adaptation in your workouts is to pair exercise together, but do it smartly. So a short example is when I'm doing my set of bench press, well, after each set, I'm resting for about 2 to 3 minutes. Well, bench press only targets my chest, my shoulders, and my triceps. So what am I not targeting with the bench press? Well, my biceps. Okay, so while I'm resting for 2 to 3 minutes, after like a 30-second rest, after finishing my set, when I catch my breath, I could probably go hit a set of bicep curls and my biceps wouldn't really be fatigued from the bench press. And that allows me to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I hit both my chest, my shoulders, my triceps, and my biceps in the time of doing 1 exercise. Third crucial adaptation with your workouts is to set a time limit and be firm on it. Now, I am someone who dreads going to the gym for the first 15 minutes, but once I'm in there, I'm in there. I'm in the zone, I'm having a great time. Now, this sounds like a great thing, but the problem is this. Once I get into the zone, I tend to lose track of time. And that is not something that I can afford as someone who's that busy. So what I've started to do now is that the moment I set foot in the gym, I set a timer. And once that timer goes off, it doesn't matter how much of the workout I'm done with and how much of the workout is left unfinished, I have to leave the gym. This forces me to get my workout done within a certain period of time and prevents any wastage of time. Juggling fitness with a busy schedule is a challenge, no doubt, but it's not impossible. Just understand that if you don't have fitness in your life as a man, then you don't really have anything else. Once your physical health declines, the next thing that declines is your mental health. And once that declines, well then you're off to the races till your life turns into a steaming pile of shit. So those are just a few changes that I've made to fit fitness into my busy life. I hope that helps. And if you like personalized help, then you can click the link in the description to work with me. I'll see you in the next one.